Under the canopy of the elephant-drawn coach sits the Maharaja, surrounded by his most privileged nobles, their jewels glittering in the strong, steady sunlight. The state elephants are heavily laden with priceless embroideries and wear age-old designs painted on their heads in obedience to Hindu ritual. And borne proudly aloft is one of the Maharaja's most treasured possessions, the state banner presented by Queen Victoria to a previous ruler. For these Indian princes, though independent, pay homage to the British throne. Slowly, the mile-long procession winds its way to the palace. Here, the Maharaja's bodyguard and his soldiers stand at attention. For though the old world may live in the ceremonial of an Indian darbar, the armies of the princes are highly trained and equipped with modern weapons. The Maharaja, in his silken raiment, gleaming with jewels, steps down. He is greeted by his ministers and nobles, clad in their richest robes, stiff with precious gems. The darbar opens with a religious ceremony performed by a Hindu priest, who ends by placing a garland of flowers round the prince's neck. This ritual is watched in impressive silence by the noble assembly. The Home Minister has the privilege of being the first to be received. After offering his symbolical gifts, he makes a circular movement of his arm, a ritual meant to ward off evil. The Maharaja pays a special courtesy to these, his most distinguished nobles, by standing for their reception. Other officials and dignitaries advance to offer him their gifts of salt, bread, rice, and coins, symbols of their homage and their loyalty. For in these states, the people still regard their feudal law as all-powerful, and they expect in return for their allegiance everything from good advice in the season of marriages to rain when the harvests are threatened by drought. And even the poorest among them can count on direct, personal access to his ruler. The armed force of the state is represented by the commander-in-chief. Some of his many decorations were won on the battlefields of France and Flanders. For independent though these Indian princes are, they offer their swords and their armies in time of war to the King Emperor. He and his officers express their fidelity by presenting their swords to be touched by the prince. Throughout the day, the darbar continues. The rigid ceremony is robbed of monotony by the dancing girls performing traditional songs and dances. Though each movement of the dance is known to the assembly, they are nevertheless held spellbound. For whilst we are only entertained by something new, the Oriental dwells and delights in the past. The rich and vivid spectacle draws to its close. Once again, the